What up, YouTubers? It's your boy, the Visionary. Welcome to another episode of Fireside Chats. A random topic I want to talk about is from an article I read. I noticed I read a lot of shit. It was basically about our college tuition. Is college degree still worth it? And I'm assuming this is an article that was written in like 2011 or 12. And the degree itself, the article itself, it was a very scathing criticism of the education system in terms of academia, colleges, and universities. And the general gist of it is that, once you go into college and you're not from an affluent family, or you're not rich and you have to pay for college student loans and whatnot, what happens is you become a debt slave, an indentured servant, and you have to work that off. And they're saying that the actual time wasted and you paying off that debt is about even, or not worth you going to college to get that degree. And technically I agree to a certain extent, you know what I mean? Because here's the catch-22 of going to college and then going into the workforce, right? The catch-22 is you spend your 4 years in college. Some people get an associate's and then a bachelor's, or they'll do a bachelor's and a master's, right? They'll get these degrees, and after they graduate, right, they don't have any real-world experience. So when they try to go for a job, the catch-22 is that the job is looking for people with experience. Of course, they go, we want someone with a bachelor's or a master's or a doctorate or whatever in the given field of study that's appropriate to the position that they're offering. But the problem is, you go to school and you graduate, but you have no sort of experience whatsoever, and that's the problem. That's the widening chasm, in the end of all this, because hey, what are you doing while you're in school? You're in school. That's the reason why they came with externships, because you can get some experience. But the problem with that is that you go to an externship more or less towards the end of your college career. You know what I mean? This is like the last 6 months, your last semester. So you go, you do the externship, you pick a company or whatever, and generally the idea is the company that externs you or does the externship for you will decide whether or not they want to hire you or not. You know what I mean? And for the most part, that just does not happen. That's the idea behind it, but it doesn't happen. So now you have a new crop of students who graduate from college, from Harvard or whatever. And let's for a second forget the fact that certain colleges, certain groups of people that go to college, aka white, Asian, Indian, or so on and so forth, who are better socially set up, so that when you go to Harvard or Penn State or these big name universities, that you have a wealth of information, a network to network with people to do things, and so on and so forth. So let's forget about that for a second and just go, okay, you graduate, you're in the real world, what are you going to do? You're going to go get a job at some place, yada, yada, yada. We need a person with at least 2 years experience in this. We need a person with like at least 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 years experience. Like in my particular career field, business administration or HR technically, what happens is when they're hiring someone for HR, you need like at least a BA or a master's, and they are looking for people with at least 5 years of experience. Like, really? Like, I'm like, oh my fucking god, like 5 years experience. So it's kind of like, how does anyone actually get a job as an HR professional if you have those if you have that type of that glass, that's the glass ceiling right there. That's like the qualifications that people can't fulfill, especially those who want to get into the field who actually have the degrees, because there's lots of people that have the degrees but they can't get a job because they don't have the experience. And then that's the problem. That's the catch-22. That's the fallacy within the system in and of itself that people don't seem to want to address or look at. Like, really? Relating this to the African American culture in and of itself, we have a hard time getting into these type of jobs or getting positions or careers where that we don't have a fully established network, and there's a disconnect between the private sector, public sector, the workforce, and your academic career. So once you get to your last semester, you do your externship. You technically don't really get hired by these jobs because that's just how they are. You know, oh, we're doing an externship. You can do your externship for like 6 months and then that's it. If a position opens up, if we like you, whatever, yada yada yada. But once you get into the real world, like, okay, what I'm gonna do with this? I just got a law degree. I want to become a lawyer. All right, cool. So, what law firm is gonna be hiring? You know what I mean? For what, a private partner, a paralegal, or something like that. And you have to start from the bottom up and work your way up. That's why literally it's just as well. You might as well start your own business. You know what I mean? Because then you have creative control over what you do. You control the finances, all that other shit. That's part of owning a business. I would just say just try to start your own business, because going to college, getting a degree, and then going into the workforce where you can't, you know what I mean? Where it's just a detach and there's detached between academia and the workforce, where, you know, it's that you need 3 to 4 years of experience to do this job. I have a degree, well, that doesn't matter, and that's what causes the problem. That's where the entire system is flawed and fucked up, period. The only people that can get jobs, or the only jobs that would hire, are jobs that are low paying and that require little to no training or experience, which is one thing, but then again, you know what I mean, that's the reason why a lot of people go to school, because there's a disconnect between we don't have a planned economy, we don't have a planned academic educational system. There has to be a planned academic educational system where a structure is put in place so that we can connect schools, colleges, universities to these corporate businesses and let them know, listen, you have to take an active interest in the next generation of your workers, period, of the people that are going to be coming out these colleges, because you want people who have experience in doing these jobs, yet you're not taking an interest, you're not actually doing things which, you know, create a pathway, a gate, a road to where you can meet these people halfway, to give them, to help them get their externship, to get the actual experience necessary to do what they need to do, and for them to cement their place in your company or the companies of the future, and so on and so forth. So that's a major problem that I see right now, and that's what's going to cause in my opinion, a collapse to the economic system. Is going to be one of the factors, is because of the fact that there's a disconnect between education and the workforce, the work field, period. Alright, that's it. Take care. Check out my other videos. Deuces.